Okay, this is the continuing of the history of the United States note for the $1 and $2 denominations. And we're going to focus on the era beginning with that of Rosencrantz and Nebuchadnezzar when they moved from the large brown seal for the last time away from that to the small seal or to the red seal. And also the red seal is this interesting design, what they call the scalloped design, because it looks kind of like little scallop shells all around it. This would be the color of the reds of the United States note seals from this point to the end of their production. Now, however, I note that at the time of Rosecrans and Nebuchadnezzar, and also the next signature pair, which would be Tillman and Morgan, the serial numbers are blue, as you can see there and there. I didn't have a $2 like that, but it's the same basic idea. The next signature pair to appear in both of these denominations is that of the era of Teehee and Burke. Oh, wait a minute, let's get the backs of these things here. So here's how it looks in Nebuchadnezzar, and here's the back side. So it's still series of 1880. It's still that. Okay. Printing and engraving. Printed at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. And these are all the usual stuff you'd see in these areas. This note is a legal tender at its face value for all debts, all public and private, except duties on imports and interest on the public debt. And then the usual counterfeiting clause. Okay, so he's still series of 1880. Now, when they restart in the era of Teehee and Burke, we now suddenly jump up to the series of 1917. So the red seal moves slightly, but basically stays the same. The seals now move to the color of red, and remember the blue one was up here at the top. And now it kind of comes down to this place in red and doesn't have this little colorful thing here. It's just this. So that's the the United States note there. It says at the bottom and at the top. This note is a legal tender for $1. And let's see on the back. Now it's series of 1917. But otherwise, basically the same design. Printed at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing there at the bottom. United States of America. And here it says, this note is a legal tender. Same usual verbiage. The $2 also starts up again after the Rosecrans and Nebuchadnezzar and Hillman and Morgan, and then jumps to this new era of Teehee and Burke, also series of 1917, although it's by the act of March 3rd, 1863. This note is a legal tender for $2, so United States note. So, and this design stays clear up to the era of Spielman and White. And this goes, totally unchanged other than the signatures, serial numbers, and the like. And the same for the $2. So all the way up to Spielman and White. So these are the designs, all series of 1917. You see the back still looks the same. It's really beautiful. It's a nice shape like this. And this too is really, wow, look at all that. Okay, here's just the series of 1917, printed at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. Yep, there we go. And this is still like this. All right. This note is a legal tender at its face value for all debts, public and private, except duties on imports and interest on the public debt. And then the usual counterfeiting blurb. So it's an interesting portrayal of the Capitol. Now the $1 has an extra little phase inserted in here, and that is that we begin to step into the 20th century, into what is really a 20th century design. So now this looks almost like a normal dollar bill, but it's still large, still has the scalloped thing, still has this $1 pattern here, but it looks remarkably like the large size silver certificates and so forth. It still has United States note at the top, and this United States of America will pay to the bearer on demand $1. And it has back. And this back is in fact the same as what they would call the funny back. Well, let's move to the actual 20th century, the small size 20th century, and that would be this. So there it is, and a beautiful, finally we get a small size $1 United States note, and as one can see, no more scallops around there, and it kind of adds what's kind of unusual United States note around the over the seal, as well as still United States note up there, and again the United States of America will pay to the bearer $1 on demand. This note is a legal tender at its face value for all debts, public and private, except duties on imports and interest on the public debt. So there they are. This also is a very distinctive signature combination of wood and wooden. Only 3 notes have that combination. A very rare 1928 D $5 Federal Reserve note and the 1928 C silver certificate. It's a very, very rare combination of signatures. And the back is now the usual, what they call the funny back. And as you can see, both of these are very similar, except again in size. And also, this has just $1 in all of these places, whereas here this has United States of America and then $1 in the newer one. Let's put these in order here. Okay, so first you have the big one, and then you have the small. But as you can see, all the rest, and this little design here, United States of America, $1, is just replaced with $1 and 1. But it's got all the rest of the same grill, work, filigrees, all the whatever, all these designs and patterns are the same, other than the size. So, although one small difference I do know that's kind of intriguing is that inside this sort of clockish thing, it does seem as if they did not try to shrink the netting inside this. They just simply, it's like it's redrawn completely. But as you can see, you have a lot of the same things. You have, here's the letter, or the number, here's the letter. Again, the same letters here and here. Well, this is series of 1923. This is series of 1928. And the other interesting change is that the signatures here, we start with the Register of the Treasury on this side for the big one, and the Treasurer of the United States for this one, whereas in the small size, the Treasurer is on this side, and then on the other side, they put the Secretary of the Treasury. So this has no Register, this has no Treasury. And finally, the $2, after being in this Spielman and white size, simply goes directly to its small size 20th century configuration, wherein it moves. It's got somewhat older signatures. And it has the same red seal, same things. The letter there, letter with numbers there. And the United States note at the top. The United States of America will pay to the bearer on demand $2. And it has the familiar back of our $2 bills. We'll see more of those a little later on when we show the history of what happened after they got small. And that's what we have for the 1s and 2s from the Rosencrantz-Nebuchar era to the small size. Thanks for watching.